Magandang umaga po mga kabakbakan. Ito po ang pangalawang linggo na ang ating guest co-host ay isa na sa kung hindi siyang pinaka-successful na breeder ng manok dito po sa Pilipinas. Ang ating guest co-host ay si Ginoong Nene Abello. Good morning, Sir Nene.
Good morning.
Nabalitaan ko, bumili ka daw ng incubator na libo. Pero I saw this morning na meron kang ginagawa ng mga divider ba yan para sa itlog?
Yes, those are for the hatchers, so they don't get to mix markings. Especially when you have single mates and you only have 2-3 eggs. Well, in 14 days, you probably will have 3 to 4.
Talagang metikuloso kayo pagdating sa sinisino nyo yung anak ni Juana, anak ni Petra, or single mating.
Ganon nga. Yes.
Bakit? May advantage po ba yung single mating?
I'll give you an analogy. If you had 4 hens and you were flock mating it, and they produce 16 roosters, 16 stags, and you fight the 16 stags, and you have 4 winners from probably you have let's say 8 winners and 8 losers. So that makes it half and half.
50%.
That's not good enough to win any derby. Now, if you were to single mate that, chances are you had one hen that was producing 2 winners and 2 losers. The other hen also produced 2 winners, 2 losers. One produced all winners, and the other one produced all losers.
Oh, I see.
It really helps if you know this hen, because you can get 12 to 14 stags out of her in 1 year, especially if you meticulously breed her. And if you had 10 such hens that you know to be very good and producing winners, you probably will have 140 roosters to fight.
Wow.
And you will be difficult to beat.
Aha, I see. So, balita ko nga, Sir Nene, pag bumili ka ng manok sa Amerika, talagang you get the descendants or the progenies of one particular hen.
Yes.
Hindi basta dampot na ng dampot.
Yes, sometimes I know one hen to be really good, and then I ask which is out of. Then they say it's out of that hen. I'll say, okay, how many do you produce in 1 year? And when I come back, usually I come back about Thanksgiving, about this time of the year, and I get all of the offsprings.
Ayun.
It has been very successful. We've been winning with them, except that we just don't have enough to put together in one derby.
So, would you say na yung producer na hen, pag nag-anak naman siya, magaling din pong mag-anak yung anak niyang lalaki na yan?
Not necessarily. It really is the combination of the same brood cock and the same hen.
A few weeks back, nung nasa Cebu tayo, yung festival sa Cebu, you were talking with Carol Smith, and you have a story about the possum hen, and it was out of one hen. Parang yun ang natatandaan ko eh. Could you tell us that story?
What happened was when Carol was fighting with Jean Brown, Jean Brown had stewards and Carol had the sweaters. He had one rooster that was producing very well, and they were winning all of the derbies with his sons. But Eugene Brown, the old man, made a mistake and sent him to Mexico with the rest of the battle chickens. So Carol got another brother, and decided he was not going to risk it. At the end of the season, he was going to single mate it to 3 hens. One hen was marked left in. The other one was marked right out. They were old hens, and the daughter of that one that went to Mexico was double left right in. Was a double left right in. They had on record 4 that they hatched, but when they went to look for them, there was only one that they found, and her back was all scratched up. The possum had eaten all of the 3 sisters and also hurt her. She got put into the breeding, into the single mate. So this rooster carried 3 chickens. When Carol let me have sweater chickens, I got 1 hen from the first mating, another hen from the second mating, and a brood cock from the pullet that they called the possum pullet, because they had gotten eaten by the possum.
And she was the survivor,
She was the lone survivor. That's why they called her the possum. And after one clutch of eggs, they turned out the hens to freshen them up. She went back to the same place where the possum was, and the possum also ate her.
So wala na.
So to have a possum is quite rare. So you have to. Not everybody has possums.
I see. And they're very good.
And they are good, especially because also the other it came out of a broodcock that was producing all of the winners. They were winning one out of every other derby. I had bred this possum stag all the way till he was 11 years old.
Wow. And you call them your?
I call them 226 because
Your
it
226.
was my wing band. It was 226 that I had attached to it.
And it is the most sought after line here in your farm.
Right, that's right.
Alam niyo mga kabakbakan, kaninang umaga, naghahanap kami ng manok na gagawin naming props. Naglagay kami ng mga imported. Sabi ko, hindi siya masyadong maganda. Dumampot ako ng magandang manok. Yung pala, ito yung breeding nyo, local. So, mas maganda yung mga manok natin dito, Sir Nene?
Hindi naman. They're just nice chickens.
And importante, they're winning.
They're winning chickens.
Yeah. So, ang mga manok dito magagaling. So, what are the other lines that we have here?
We have Stewarts, which are good. We have high action hats, which are very good. And we have Ray Alexander Roundheads, which are very good. Remember, I told you that after Ray Alexander used to advertise in the Gamecock and Gridiron Steel, the winningest fowl in the world. And no American ever contested him. An American will contest it if you just misrepresent things. An American will always contest that, but they never contested this because at that time nobody could deny it.
Alam niyo ng mga Amerikano, they will stand up to you pagka mali sinabi mo. Cha-challenge ka niyan, di ba?
And that really is a statement. The winningest fowl in the world.
And they were roundheads.
And they were roundheads and roundhead Democrat, roundhead Griffin. From Blunder Roland.
Oh, Democrat fame.
Democrat, yes.
So ito ho, in-incorporate nyo rin sa breeding nyo o separate family yan?
We did separate. I'm fond of going around the U.S. and every time I see something that looks interesting, Carol sometimes says, I don't think you need that. Then I say, we will never stay on top unless we keep searching.
I see.
And everybody should keep searching. Nobody has a monopoly of the best chickens in the world.
I see. So once in a while you go to the United States. How often do you do that?
Usually I go about this time of the year and summertime, early summer, for me to get some brood stuff and also for me to get some young chickens before they get picked over by the others.
Ah, right. Kailangan maagap ka rin dun no?
Yes, that's right. And I stay with the breeders, and I know all of their lines. I know all of their. Then when I go to the strings, we spar these chickens to see how well they are coming out this year. If they're better this year than they weren't last year.
I see.
And that way we've helped also in the breeding of Carol, where I would say these are good for the slashers, and these are winning there, and it also is a cue from him on which way to go.
I see. Sir Nene, alam niyo naman, marami tayong ini-import na mga manok. Yung mga nanonood sa atin, marami imported na manok yan. When can we say na this is fit for short knife, this is fit for long knife?
You'll never know till you set the first one down. He has to win here first before you can say.
Right.
I also have a whole field of imports. I buy every interesting rooster, then I just get rid of it as soon as I feel that I'm wasting my time with it.
So you really have to do your homework.
I'm doing my homework. I'm even trying A-sales to breed 1/4. So I have chickens that are standing on the line and they become abang. They become abang because
The Oriental.
Because I'm really targeting to win the bakbakan.
The most prestigious. Isipin nyo, mga kabakbakan, 6,592 entries. Grabe, no?
And not very many make 7 straight just to qualify to go to
Oh
Araneta.
yes, oo. Ayan mga kabakbakan, ang sarap ng kwentuhan natin dito, nililibang kami. Pero Sir Nene, maghahanap buhay muna kami. At sa aming muling pagbabalik, bakbakan na! So, ano po ang mga breeds na bagay sa malalaking ruweda at saka yung maliliit na ruweda?
A good rooster will be good in any rueda size. Yeah.
Ayun.
It's the bigger it is, then
Yung mga smart siguro.
probably the smart sidestepping chickens would be good for that.
I see. Dito po sa farm natin, kasi you mentioned the Stewarts. And according to you and Carol, the Stewarts and the Ray Hoskins fowl are related. Di
Yes,
po ba?
they're right, that's right.
And they are, we call that the yellow-legged McLeans.
The yellow-legged hats, yeah.
Yellow-legged hats. So they're good, lalo na pang-cross sa mga sweaters.
They're good pang-cross sa ibang yung masyadong mabilis na paa ng manok. Because they have a different way of hitting. They rake what's this? They have a raking action. And when they hit the rooster, they shuffle going backwards, so they cannot get hit.
Oh.
And it's good to add to roosters that swarm over you, because sometimes that swarming can also get you killed. Jumper was the one that said you might need a little of that in every breeding.
This yellow-legged McLean.
Yes, this yellow-legged McLeans.
So, iba pala yung palo niya.
Ibang palo, yeah.
Iba naman yung mga orientals na parang paganon.
Yes, they have a different style. This one is good for slowing down very multiple shuffling chickens. Sometimes when you multiple shuffle, you impair cutting.
Pag ganun pa lang, hinihila na yan dahil babalik pa uli. No? Sobrang bilis, nagiging parang shotgun.
Yeah, nagiging parang it shortens the reach.
I see. So talagang asset top. How about yung high action hats nyo? What do you think makes them win? And they fly. Akala ko nung pakita nyo sa akin yung video dun sa cellphone mo, akala ko Kelso yun dahil ang taas lumipad.
They really are good chickens. These are good hatch chickens that we put together. This also carries Harold chickens. And Harold chickens, the Harold Brown hats, green-legged hats chickens, were originally part of the sweater chickens, where he bred towards the green-leg side. And the rest were bred towards the yellow-legged side, the ones that won for Sweater McGuinness. And when you put them back, you sort of wake up the old talent of the green-legged and the yellow-legged.
I see.
So it becomes a very good nick for the sweaters.
I see. So talaga palang totoo yung sinasabi nila na, halimbawa yung isang manok, ang isang kape, tatlong breed. If you breed it back to any of those three, maganda nagiging resulta.
That's right.
I see. How about yung ating naman, yung mga dink or $5,000 on the $20,000?
Yung dink na $5,000 is really a Carol rooster. Carol fought that rooster twice, and Jim Kent asked to buy it for $5,000, and Carol said it's not for sale. And then he loaned that rooster to Jumper, and they bred it up in the place of George Neal's, and they bred it to radio chickens. They produced 40 stags and 40 stags and 40 pullets. They split everything half and half. So Carol got 20, Jumper got 20. Next year, they fought it in a 10-cat derby in Sunset. Two entries. Carol having one, Blackwater, and King Cobra having the other 10. The score was 19-1, and the one lost by a heartbeat. It was also killing the other rooster. Lost by a heartbeat, but before that was done, when Carol returned the rooster, and Johnny said, "Why don't you breed it another time?" Jumper said, "I don't want anything to happen to it." So Dink Fair came around with Johnny Bennett, Black Hat, and they propositioned Carol that they were going to breed in Oklahoma to fight in Mid-America, which was just a new pit then. and to sell to the Mexicans because they would go across Texas and buy chickens in Oklahoma. And so Carol agreed. Put the $5,000 rooster inside. I was the one that put the 5,000 rooster
In the box.
inside the box
Uh-huh.
for Dink Fair. And he let him have some of the right-out hens, old hens of the Oak Grove combine, and let him have some other chickens. And Dink bred these chickens. When this result of this derby came out, Dink had plenty of $5,000 chickens to sell.
Wow.
So he really had
Made a killing.
a bonanza.
Ganun pala ang istorya, no?
That's right. But Dink never claims that the rooster is his. But sometimes the magazines here don't know the story better. And if ever I interject anything, not to hurt Dink, but to lay the record straight that it really was Carol's.
Pagdating naman ho doon sa $20,000, yan ba dito rin sa mga sweaters or sa iba?
That's a rooster that Billy Johnson bet $20,000 on.
Oh.
And then that rooster won, and they called him $20,000 rooster. He was a buttercup.
Ah.
And after while he was breeding, he fought through the wire, and he got all of his beak smashed and his toes cut off. Everything was bad about him. Next day they fed him. He would eat and would then got nursed back because he was, they call that they look for that in a rooster. They call that liability. Liability. That's what they call it. And again, out of that, there was another broodcock that was the son of this guy that had fought through the wire and did exactly the same thing to his beak and to his feet and to everything, cut off his prop toes and everything. And so they were sure that there was something good in this rooster. That's why it got bred. And when this rooster was almost dying, it was given to Jumper, and Jumper saw that this was what happened to the son. He was sure that he had something good, so he kept it and kept on breeding it.
Oh, nurse him back to health and then bred him.
Yeah.
So si Jumper pala ang nag-breed nito.
Yes.
Gaano karami po ang target niyong i-breed for this year? Considering na meron tayong 1,000 capacity na incubator.
I used to hen hatch, hen brood, and it was being very unwieldy for me to hen hatch, hen brood these chickens. So I bought this incubator from AC Ang. I could say that this incubator is real nice. I intend to set 1,000 eggs every 2 weeks instead of every week, because it's hectic to be hatching every week, and also to be vaccinating every week is very expensive. So we have a vaccination program that Thunderbird has been helping me with. Thanks to them. Doc Paulo is the one that's Reyes is the one that's helping us with this. We intend to hatch 750 baby chickens every 2 weeks. So we're going to have 1,500 a month, and if we go about 4 months, we probably will have 6,000 chickens then, and half of that will be stags, and the pullets, we're going to get rid of the pullets as early as we can, because sometimes it clutters up the place if there's just too much population. And also, some of these are very valuable. I don't want to lose them.
I see. So we have 3,000 cockerels or stags to choose from.
Yes, that's right.
Ba, marami na tayong pahihirapan niyan.
I've been having a lot of queries, and I have not been able to attend to them very well because I have been a little bit short of stags. But this time we will have enough for next year to suit everybody.
Is there a number or a secretary that you can assign for us to call kung sakasakali we would be interested in acquiring your game fowl, your winning game fowl?
Our people can answer you better than the female secretaries. I can give you the number of our people. One will be, his nickname is Liloy. His number is 0917 9674626. This is the boy that releases our chickens in the pit. And then our breeder, John, he's the one that stays in Isabela. His number is 0916-342-7664. And then we have our man here in Bacolod. His name is Bibing, 0916-969-5406. Now, those three will be able to answer you, or you can call me direct. I'm as easy to call as they are, contrary to what some people are saying.
Ayan po mga kabakbakan, nadinig nyo na, meron tayong tatlong pwedeng tawagan. Isa Isabela, isa Rito, tsaka isa yung kanyang handler. So tumawag na kayo at ang mga manok po rito talagang nananalo, nagpapanalo at magagaling. By the way, Sir Nene, maraming salamat for sharing your secrets with us. I'm sure maraming natuwa at maraming natuto dito sa pagpasyal namin dito ng bakbakan. Ayan po mga kabakbakan ang ating guest co-host for these 2 weeks, si Ginong Nene Abello. Bakbakan na!